So for the past 7 days, I've been creating videos that have been quite intense. And it's part of something I've been calling my push for excellence. I decided that I really wanted to level up my filmmaking and my storytelling. And the way that I chose to do that was to just ramp up the production quality of everything I was doing. The problem is that I'm trying to do this all in a day. And I think that these videos probably are what I normally can do in a week, but I'm compressing that into a day. So it's been a lot, and what ended up happening was every night I would edit later and later into the night. So at first it was around 2 or 3 a.m. and that was manageable, but then it became 4, and then it became 5, and then 6, and then the last couple nights have been 8 or 9. So getting to bed at 8 or 9 means that I'm completely reversed from my normal schedule and from my wife's schedule and just from what I've been doing for a while. So it becomes tricky to manage different obligations I have with work and meetings that I need to have during the day. So I think I need to switch back to days. I got onto the night shift without realizing that it was going to happen. And I can kind of reflect on why that's happened, but yeah, I will chat about all of that. I think what I want to do right now is I want to fix the flat on this bike. If you've been following the 75 hard journey that I've been on, but just before we left for Japan, I picked up a flat on a bike ride and I had to carry my bike all the way back home. I haven't fixed the flat since then, so I plan on doing that right now. And then just kind of chatting through some of the things that I've been observing over the past few weeks, especially this past week. I really want to talk about this past week and what I've picked up on, what I've learned, what I've been experiencing. Yeah, I don't have a ton of experience actually with repairing bike tires, and so you'll be probably learning with me if you've never done it either. I have done it once on the e-bike, but these ones I think are a little bit different, so I don't exactly know, but I'm gonna give it my best shot. You probably notice this is more of a yappy type video than what I normally have been doing, but I think it'll be good to have a bit of a change of pace on the channel, and also I think it'll help me reset, because this is going to be a lot easier to put together than the videos I've been doing this past week. So it'll allow me to hopefully get to bed before midnight and then get back onto days. So fingers crossed. But yeah, let me get my thoughts straight here. I need to get the tube out, I think, and then figure out where the hole is so that I can put the patch on. So I got a little patch kit back when I had fixed my e-bike tire, and there's some extra patches that are in here. So, and some glue, I think, for the patches. So the first step would be to find out where the hole actually is. And I think the best way to do that would be to get the tube out first and then try to inflate it, maybe? Yeah, we'll give it a shot. But yeah, this past week has been a lot. I think initially I was kind of looking at the remaining 20 days of the challenge and thinking that I really wanted to push myself to create really high quality videos for the rest of the challenge. But after this past week, I've realized that's actually not very sustainable. And there's a couple of reasons. I think with the challenge itself, with the fitness element, I haven't been finding that the workouts are too demanding anymore. I think my body has adapted to this level of activity, and so it's not as challenging as it was when I first started. But with the making a video every single day, that part has been different, in that ramping up the volume of how much output I've been putting myself through, that has really hit me differently. And I think it's because when you're creating, there's a few factors that come into play. One is inspiration. I think creating when you're inspired is a lot easier, and forcing yourself to create outside of those inspiration windows can sometimes be, I don't know, like you're able to find inspiration, but sometimes it's really pushing yourself beyond what I think we're used to. And sometimes it can work out. Actually, this past week, it really has worked out for me. Even when I'm completely exhausted, when I'm working on an idea, at a certain point, inspiration comes for that idea, and then I'm able to just kind of keep going, and then inspiration hits. So I've had some really cool ideas come out of this week just from making myself available to it. But yeah, I really can't see that it's something that is healthy, because it really feels like redlining. It feels like getting very close to burnout. And I definitely don't want to burn out, because I think the last time I burnt out, it was 4 months before I was able to sort of feel like I could return back to some normalcy. But yeah, since then, I've been very close. And so I'm a bit nervous to try push into that territory again. Okay, well, you know what? It's just kind of putting my attention on this bike for a moment. Looks like I can't get the tube out, which is really unfortunate, because on the e-bike it was very easy to get the tube out. But this seems to be like a lot harder to get out. So maybe that I need a tool or something to force this off the rail. I think that's probably what it is. Either I need a tool or I need to like stop being so gentle. Okay, yeah, I think that's what it was. I needed to stop being so gentle. You guys probably were watching this and this guy really doesn't know what he's doing, which is very true. I actually don't. I've never tried to repair one of these types of bikes before. Okay, so this is also not really working. Yeah, it looks like I need a tool. Let me see if I can just force it. Okay, screwdriver. Let's see if that works. Oh, it kind of does, yeah. Now I just need to lift this over, looks like. Yeah, it's really in there. You know, this idea may be a bit of a flop. I might have to just take it into a professional. Which is unfortunate, because I feel like it shouldn't be that hard. Okay, got one. All right, it's coming out, great. Okay, perfect. So one of the things that was part of my challenge was not being on social media, not using the internet for leisure. And how I found that actually affects me is it has unfortunately limited my source of consuming. And I have an interesting relationship with consuming, in that I love to create, and I am a creator, but I don't think that we should ever just exclusively be creating. I think there needs to be a balance between how much we consume and how much we create. Like, when I am engaging with other people's content, it's a lot easier for me to get inspired and to get motivated to try something different or try something new, or sometimes seeing the way that someone else thinks can really help me come up with newer ideas or think about something a bit differently. And so I've been finding that because I'm not on the internet as much as I was before the challenge, a lot of my creativity is drawing on just my limited experiences in the past recent while, and that's not bad in that, like, I think I am having newer experiences just doing this challenge, but yeah, it is hard just trying to come up with ideas on my own. Oh, it looks like this is glued in there. That's gonna be really tough. Is that? Oh no, it's not glued. Okay. Oh, maybe it is. Okay, I got that tube out. Great. So probably as you're watching this, you're realizing that I really don't know what I'm doing, and I'm trying to figure this out as I go. But you know, yeah, worst case scenario, you just take it in to the professional. Yeah, it totally looks like it's glued in there. Although it could just be like the pressure, like going back and forth on that. I don't actually know. Regardless, the tube needs to be fixed, so I gotta take the tube out, find the leak, and plug the leak before there's a chance that it could work again. Okay, so yeah, 75 hard is, honestly, it's gonna sound weird, but it isn't the hard part of this. I think the hard part of this for me is just having to create so regularly. Coming up with ideas is sometimes very easy, and other times it feels like either the wrong time for an idea or that I don't quite have enough time to develop the idea. And that's what I realized this past week, was I was actually creating about things I'm quite passionate about. And so I was able to draw on my existing understanding or existing knowledge about them. But each time I was like, man, I wish I had at least a week just to work on the script, just to work on the idea. But unfortunately, I would only have like at best 2 or 3 hours to work on the script, which is fine. It ended up still creating things that I'm proud of, and for the amount of time I worked on these things, I felt like I was able to do it justice. But with each idea, I was like, man, I can really see what the 12-minute version of this video could be. And I can see all the areas I need to go out and research and go talk to people and go figure out a different way of communicating these thoughts. And so that was kind of an interesting part of doing what I was doing this past week. But yeah, I don't know if I would recommend doing something like that, like going full night owl and literally just like wake up, working on the script, going on my first workout, coming back, showering, continuing to work on the script, going on my second workout, showering, and then starting to film for a few hours and then editing for the remainder. It's like, that's literally a cycle. And the moment I stop editing, I upload and I go to sleep. So there's not really much time for anything else. And I think that's okay every once in a while, but to just do it so consistently over this past week was like, it was like a red line type of energy where I felt like it was like all gas, no brakes. And I realized that I actually, I don't think that's gonna be something I can continue to do at that level. So I need to slow it down. I need to figure out how I can still pursue excellence, but factor in that excellence doesn't necessarily mean pushing myself to my absolute limit. Maybe excellence looks like figuring out what can I meaningfully do in the amount of time that I have. So today's video, super simple. It's, if you've made it this far, I'm just talking to you through this single lens, right? So this one camera, whereas normally I use different points of view and use editing to kind of put together the story in a more concise way. Today's just simple. Today's just chatting and yapping and being okay with the mistakes that I'm gonna make along the way in terms of how I communicate and what I'm communicating about. Anyways, I do need to task switch again here because I'm a horrible multitasker and this tire does need to get fixed. So, okay, problem that I need to solve is figure out where the leak is. I'm pretty proud of the fact that I've gotten this far because I didn't actually think that was going to happen when I got started. I thought this was just going to be a no-go, but it's looking like I can potentially inflate the tube, and then from there, hopefully I can, let's see. Yeah, hopefully I can spray some soap or something onto the tube and just watch and see where the leak is. Or maybe I'll be able to just hear where the air is trying to escape from. If you've never done this before and you are thinking that you can pick up some tips, this is probably not the video to be watching. I'm sure there's someone that's made an incredible video on how to actually do it. I am just figuring it out as I go. So far I can't hear anything, so I don't know if that strategy is really gonna work. By the way, we're in the studio that I built last year, and yeah, it's been getting a lot of use over the past few days, just in that I've done a lot of the talking head segments in here. And yeah, it's so versatile. I've been able to get quite a few different looks out of it. It is a small space, so there's like a limit to what I can do in here. But I've been pretty proud of what I've been able to accomplish. And I'm sure there's like way more I could do in here, but yeah, I felt like all the existing ideas I had in my head that I wanted to try out, I just tried out because I was doing so much that I just had to use my ideas. Okay, let's see. I feel like I hear it somewhere, but so far nothing. I wonder if it was like, there wasn't actually a leak and the tube was just, like there's like a valve here. I wonder if that valve was just pressed in. That'd be so unfortunate. I went through all this work to figure out that it doesn't even have a leak. Okay, well, the other option is to apparently put some soap on it and then see kind of where, if there's any bubbles or holes that will create bubbles. So we'll try that. But I was hoping that I would see a little bit of air or something, or hear a little bit of air first before doing this, so that then the soap just confirms it. Unfortunately, I really can't hear anything. There it is. I felt something. Although ironically, as I say that, it goes away. Okay. I feel like it's somewhere around here. Okay, well, if it's somewhere around here, then maybe I can figure it out with some spray. These are all tricks that I don't quite remember where I learned these from. Oh, I keep thinking that I am hearing air or feeling air, but maybe it's just like I'm creating that by moving around. Okay, I'm gonna try and pump a little bit more air into this tube, and then we'll see if that helps create more pressure. I hope it doesn't explode. That would be really unfortunate. This is probably a very boring part of this video. Nothing's really happening, which makes sense. Okay, there's way more air in here now, so hopefully that does something. The annoying thing is I can't take this off. I don't quite know how to take this wheel off, so it's hard to get this into a comfortable spot for myself. No, I really don't know. Oh, I see. It's like the tube itself just opened. For a second I thought I like broke it. Even worse, made it worse. Yeah, I really don't know. Could try to be methodical about it, but it might take some time. This might have to be the only cut that exists in this video if I make a cut. Apparently dish soap can help me figure out because it'll create bubbles, but so far it has not been doing anything for me. More dish soap. When we were younger, I had a mountain bike and I was able to find leaks by putting the tube in water and just like squeezing it, but I don't know if I should try that here. I feel like, what do I have to lose at this point, right? Might as well give it a shot, see if that works. I gotta go get some. I'm going for a run after this, and it's raining a lot right now. It's been so cold over the past few days that it's been kind of foggy and very moody, which has been beautiful, but yeah, it is cold. So the run later on is going to be a little bit more uncomfortable than it can be. But that's Vancouver for you. Vancouver is very rainy in the winter, and every once in a while we get a little bit of snow coming through the winters, but generally it's a pretty moderate climate, so we're spoiled, to be honest. There's a lot of places that don't have that kind of climate, and sometimes I forget that we're actually pretty fortunate over here. Okay, nothing so far here. How ironic would it be that there's actually no leak in this? Oh, I feel like I felt something. Could it be that it's just, actually, you know what? So what does this do? Does this take it off? No. No way. Watch that just like pop off. It totally does. Okay, so then if that comes off there, that should help. Okay. Yeah, honestly, I don't know if this soap idea is really working. I might have to resort to the water, but I am currently trying to exhaust this possibility before having to resort to that. Okay, so far nothing. It's funny because like every once in a while I'll feel like I hear air, but I think it's just like stuff rubbing up against the bike frame. Okay, well, so far no dice. I will be right back. I gotta go get some water apparently, and we'll see. Hopefully that helps identify whether there's a leak or not. I mean, so far, honestly, nothing has happened, so I'm not really sure that there is one. which I guess isn't the worst thing in the world. Okay, let's see if this does it. Might have to move stuff around. Okay, man, definitely not an easy job. You can see why people just take their bikes into bike mechanics. If you don't have a ton of time on your hands, it can be a bit time consuming. Honestly, so far, nothing. Which again, I can't quite tell if that's like what that means. Whether that I was just tripping about the fact that there was a flat, or the only way to find out would just be to leave it overnight and see if it deflates again. Oh gosh. But yeah, it's super unfortunate. Nothing. Huh. Okay. Well, I guess my strategy will be to just leave that overnight and then come back and see if it's any lower than it is. If there's a slow leak, then that should be flatter by the morning, and if that's the case, then I guess I gotta keep hunting for it. But so far, my working theory is that this little knob here just got bumped, and it's like a release, right? So it probably just released some air, maybe it was open and it kept releasing air as I was riding, and then I got the flat that way. In which case, like, the actual tube is not punctured and the bike's fine, so I'll have to deflate it and put it back together tomorrow and go from there. But if there is a hole, then I definitely do need to find the hole so I can patch it up. But yeah, thanks for sticking around with me. I'm gonna go on a run after this and then upload this video and hopefully get to bed at a decent time. And then yeah, it's like the home stretch for the challenge. Almost at day 60, which is just 15 days away from the end. And that's super exciting to be this close to the finish line. I am looking forward to it. I think I'm gonna take some time off. I think I'm gonna take some time to reflect and go spend some time with some friends and just relax and rest and allow my body to recover, allow my mind to recover. And then, yeah, I have some plans, some ideas as to what I would like to do after. But so far, that's kind of what I've got in mind. For everyone that's followed along so far, your support is so incredibly important to me. It's something that helps keep me motivated to keep going. It's very encouraging. Ultimately, I'm really just putting this stuff out there so I can become a better storyteller. It's been trial by fire kind of thing. I've realized that a lot of times I just live in my head and have a lot of ideas, but I don't necessarily always execute them. Or if I do, I spend a lot of time really tinkering until I feel like it's perfect and then I release it. Whereas this process has really taught me to just put stuff out there and to iterate as I go. And that process has helped me learn far more than when I was trying to make something more perfect in my mind. So yeah, definitely valuable lessons have been learned and valuable skills have been picked up along the way. But yeah, going back to what I was saying earlier, it's just not sustainable to create that much, that intensely. Maybe it is for some personality types. For mine, I don't think that it is something that I can continue to do at that level. But I do want to continue creating, and so this doesn't mean I'm going to stop pushing for excellence. It just means that I'm reworking in my mind what pushing for excellence looks like. And right now, that looks like getting back to just a regular schedule and figuring out how to decrease the intensity of the scope that I have in mind for my videos so that I can push them out and still be creative and still be someone that is becoming an artisan with video, but not necessarily work all the way up to 8 a.m. the following day and then be on the graveyard shift. So thanks for hanging with me. Failed to find the leak, but theoretically there is no leak, in which case I succeeded. Anyways, this is probably going to be my longest video, so if you've stuck around this long, I appreciate you. You're one of the real ones that support me, and it means a lot.